Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the 13th race in the 2019 NRSL Mountain Dew for the Win Cup Series. We were going to be at the LA Center, but again, like I said in the truck race, track issues. I'm actually kind of glad we moved it to Indy, as much as I don't like having another intermediate on the schedule. Here we are, 48 laps of action, 120 miles. Is it 120 or 125? 48 times 2, 96, 120. It's 120. Or no, is it? Can I math? Yeah. Yeah, it's 120. Anyways, starting lineup. In true Indianapolis storyline fashion, the driver who got his first career win in 2018 is on the pole. Cole Deaver beat out Andrew Rich here in 2018 to get his first career win, and he's on the pole the year after. He has not won in 2019 yet. Prime chance for him to get that first win of the year and all but lock up a spot in the chase grid. We'll have 7 races remaining after this. Still a chance we could have more than 12 winners. Probably unlikely. We'll see what happens. Next to him is Jay Jefferson. Looking to have a better run. He seems to always start up front, but that never seems to finish up there. Nico Tringali and 3-race winner Jonathan Zorlin start in row 2. 2 more Hendrick teammates to Zorlin's in row 3. We got Alex Ferranti and TJ Hanley. Row 4 consists of 2 teammates. Your 2017 Indianapolis winner James Shelley got his first career win here in 2017, and Seth Cole, a Final Four member from last year who is yet to win. And in row 5 is Levi McIntyre and Charles Sanford, who made it to the front on strategy and ended up finishing 8th. Now, Shelley has yet to win a race since the 2017 Homestead finale. Could today be the day he goes back to victory lane? Let's take a look at your top 12 in points. Sorlin leads 55 points over Zachary Fitzwater Sr., 69 over Alex Gray. 80 points back Ryan Brommer, 87 Nico Tringali. That's the top 5. 6th in points Johnny Gardner, 7th Kev Shearer, 8th Marty Johnson, 9th Sebastian Kukalon, 10th Austin Alves, 11th Patrick Sick, and 12th Charles Jackson. However, Nate Rogers sits 30th in the points since he's top 30 with that win. He boots out Charles Jackson.
All right, well, the fun doesn't start until we ask our drivers a question. Are you ready? Drivers, will you please start your engine?
While they go around the track, take a look at the rest of the point standings. So Charles Jackson's the first man out. He is 12 points behind Patrick Sick. And then here are the rest of the cars out. We'll go all the way down to 29th. 13th in points, John Arndt. 14th, Jessica Shelton. Shelton had 4 top 5s in the first 7 races, has yet to get another top 5 or a top 10 since. William Flickinger, 15th in points. Jose Mills, 16th in points. Cole Deaver, your pole sitter, 17th in points with 4 top 10s. No top 5s. This is actually his second pole on the season, and he is the first driver to get 2 poles. Zach Flickinger, 18th in points. Mark Rickleman, 19th. TJ Hanley sits 20th. James Qualls, 21st. Charles Sanford, 22nd. Rob Evans is 23rd. Ace Rogers, 24th. Outside pole sitter Jay Jefferson, 25th. If you don't think he starts up front and doesn't finish up front, here's the statistics. In 12 races, 3 top 10s, an average finishing position of 22nd, with an average starting position of 15th with a pole. So Jefferson, one of the worst drivers in points that manages to start up front a lot. Caleb Hoffman, 2017 champion, is 26th. Tony Green, 27th. Sam Oskin, 28th. And Team Penske owner Dylan Young sits in 29th. Young still looking for that first career win. Drivers outside the top 30 right now. Andrew Miller, 31st. Levi McIntyre, 32nd. DJ Curtis, 33rd. Seth Cole back down outside the top 30. He's now 34th in points after his bad race last week. William Brock, 35th. James Shelley, 36th. Edwin Mendez, 37th. Phil Parker, 38th. Peter Sands, 39th. Alex Ferranti, 40th. Quentin Moore, 41st. And Gatlin Downey, 42nd. As the pace car dives down pit road, we'll kick it to the spectator camera. Bit of a different package. They tweaked the amount of drag on these cars this year. So it'll be interesting to see what the top speeds are this time around. Green flag is out at Indianapolis for 48 laps of action. Cole Deaver gets a good start. That's going to let Jay Jefferson pop in line as the rest of the field stays mostly side by side. And without wasting much time, Jay Jefferson will go for the lead. But turns 3 and 4 are not really the passing corners. You can see they're going a lot faster in the corners this year. 178 miles an hour. With the draft should be increased. See Jefferson a few miles an hour faster than Deaver at the start-finish line, but Deaver leads lap 1 as James Shelley looks for position on Ferranti. You can see turn 1 and 2 will be the clear passing zone. We'll see what tire wear does to these cars during the long run. So Tringali to 3rd, Shelley to 4th, Ferranti 5th. As Jefferson will again make a move, Shelley will follow with him. But both will yield out. See turn 3 just can't make a move in turn 3. Top 10 rundown: Deaver, Jefferson, Tringali, Shelley, Ferranti, Sorlin, McIntyre, Gardner, Seth Cole, TJ Hanley. Hanley's making a move on Cole that could open up the door for Jackson to get up to 10th. We went caution free in the truck race. Will that happen here in Cup? The trucks were able to go 18 laps. I'm not sure what the Cup drivers will go, but I'm going to guesstimate a 2-stop strategy. As for 4th place goes Alex Ferranti after Shelley passed the 84 earlier through the track, and you can see turn 4 will be one of those corners where you get the run on the top. McIntyre's actually making a move to the outside. I don't think it's going to quite work. Yep, no dice, and that's going to cost Ferranti a position. Maybe more. So James Shelley up to 3rd, right on the bumper of Jay Jefferson. Jefferson must be having the time of their life. He's racing up at the front with the 2 Indianapolis winners. Shelley will make a move, but it won't work. He'll back out. Turn 3, definitely not going to be a passing zone for anybody today. The top 5 consists of 4 Chevys. Shelley had to back out. He'll lose a bit of momentum. He should be able to gain it back with the draft down the straightaway. What would it mean for Deaver to get the W here at Indianapolis yet again? I don't believe there are any drivers with 2 wins at the same racetrack. I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure nobody's won at the same track twice in Cup. Jefferson makes the move in 3. That's going to cost him a ton of time. Look at James Shelley. When he's just about making the move there, he had to back out a lot. That's going to open the door for Ferranti. No, but he didn't make the right move. That opens the door for Tringali. And these are some of the best drivers right here passing Ferranti for position. Tringali, Sorlin, and Gardner have been on their game this year. Gardner with the 1 win at Denver, almost had that win at Steelback Stadium. He might have had a chance at it, but he got dumped by lap cars. Sorlin, we know, has won 3 times earlier in the season. He hasn't been amazing since those 3 wins, however. And Tringali's been off and on, but he's won twice in his 3rd season. It took him 2 seasons plus to get to victory lane, and he got another one shortly after the 1st. So Ferranti falls all the way to the back of these 3 notable drivers. Honestly, probably 3 of the possible Final 4 contenders, depending how the playoffs pan out. Deaver continues to lead with a bumper full of Jay Jefferson. Shelley's cleared a little bit away from Tringali. Jefferson makes the move again, and you can see it's not going to pan out in 3 and 4. Shelley will back out big time as well. It's just not something you can do in 3 and 4. That's the end of the racetrack where the outside line is just overly powerful. Shelley's going to lose 3rd place to Tringali as Gardner goes for 5th on Sorlin. He might take 4th from Shelley here as well. Oh yeah, he really threw it into the corner. And Gardner does he clear in time for the corner? He does. Oh, but he's looking for 3rd now, and Tringali, he backed out. Shelley's going to get a bit of a run here. Puts Ferranti to the inside. Sorlin to the outside as well. Sorlin might just save enough of a run here, and he does, so he'll stay in 7th for now. Popping into the top 10 and running in 9th place, Charles Jackson, as Kev Shearer will pass TJ Hanley for position. Pensacola winner. Seth Cole running in 12th place as Hanley's going to lose a ton of positions. Tringali 3rd, Gardner 4th, Shelley 5th, as Jefferson and Deaver continue to lead the group. We noticed in the truck race that after the first round of pit stops, depending what kind of tire run you got, it was really hard to catch in the trucks. How fast they're going, it's going to be interesting to see if that strategy stays true in Cup. Depends when they have to pit. If they pit before lap 16, they're borderline going to have to pit a 3rd time for a splash of fuel. And Deaver's been at the front of the draft the whole race. As Jefferson peaks low, he'll back out. Bad corner to peak low for a move. So it looks like Gardner did the same thing. That opens the door for Shelley. Shelley made the wrong lane choice. That opens the door for Hendrick Motorsports teammates Ferranti and Zorlin. Ferranti has him, and so will Zorlin. So that'll shuffle Shelley now back to 7th. McIntyre sits 8th as Jose Mills moves up to 9th and Seth Cole moves up to 10th, so they got by Jackson and Kev Shearer. Seth Cole makes the move, but that'll check himself up along with Kev Shearer. Top 15 is mostly broken away, and one guy we're not seeing make a lot of moves, but he's up here, is Sebastian Kukulon. Continues to run in 14th place. Kukulon, one of the best rookies in the Cup Series this season, 9th in points, only 1 top 5 and 3 top 10s, but he's been consistent along with teammate Marty Johnson. Teammate Marty Johnson, however, not doing well at all as he runs 42nd last place. Zach Flickinger in the 15th, Ace Rogers, another Dodge in 16th. Ace not having great of a season as his teammates. As Kukulon will try and push Jackson past TJ Hanley and maybe Seth Cole. Yeah, they get there. So Jackson will gain 2 positions as Kukulon will try to follow through. Shearer now by himself in 10th due to their battling. Mills is by himself in 9th. McIntyre by himself in 8th. Shelley runs in 7th still. Sorlin back down to 6th. Ferranti's battling Tringali for 4th, as Gardner has made it up to 3rd. Ferranti has to lift. Sorlin was to the outside of Shelley. Now he's to the outside of his teammate. Sorlin will pass Ferranti on the straightaway. So put the 5 back to 5th. Tire wear really coming in now, over a second of tire wear, but Johnny Gardner is flying up to the leaders. Mark Riggleman with the fastest lap. Rest of the top 10 in lap time: Sorlin, Tringali, Jackson, Shearer, Gardner, Jefferson, Curtis, Ferranti, and Ace Rogers. Not surprisingly, Cole Deaver has not run a super fast lap, only 17th, and that is because he's been leading the entire race. We're at lap 14. If they make it to 16, they should be good to stop twice the entire race. Ooh, and Jefferson's making a big time move for the lead, but he can't get there. And that really opened the door for Johnny Gardner. So top 3 breakaway, just like the truck race. You can see Tringali and Sorlin 4th and 5th, kind of doing their own thing as well. Shelley back up to 6th. He got by Ferranti, as McIntyre and Mills battle for 8th, 2 rookies. Side by side through turn 3. And Mills makes the move work on the top. As I think someone went down pit road. And yes, Cole Deaver has pit all by himself, and I'm going to assume that this is because he's been leading the entire time. Everyone else has been in draft, so they've been able to save a little bit. Deaver, however, has not. But that opens the door to say that he could stretch it on one more stop if he desires. So we'll see where he ends up coming out. He pit first. It looks like Jefferson will pit this time, and that'll leave Johnny Gardner out to lead. Sorlin stays out too, so that's our long run contender group right there. Pitting with Jefferson is Nico Tringali, James Shelley, Alex Ferranti, Levi McIntyre, and Seth Cole from the front runners we saw. We'll see where Cole Deaver comes out of pit road. There goes Sorlin. Looks like he'll come in right in front of Ace Rogers. Right behind Ace Rogers, who found the way by his teammate. And here comes our last group. Maybe our last group, led by Johnny Gardner. As you see Deaver stay out. Gardner, Sorlin, Mills, Shearer, and Jackson, the first 5 in pit road. As the rest of the field bunches up to come down pit road. Let's go up to Jefferson. And as I expected, they come out of pit road in front of Cole Deaver. But Deaver will be second place, so this will be the first time he's behind somebody. We'll see if he manages to stay in the draft. You see, he's getting a huge run right now because Jefferson's working on heating up those tires. So Deaver will maybe get a chance to make a move here. And he will be to the inside of Jefferson at the start-finish line. So Deaver completes the pass for Jefferson's position. Gardner might remain the leader, however. Now's a pretty good time to go on board a lap. When we get to turn 4, we'll go on board with 2018 champion Johnny Gardner. Deaver back to the race lead. And it looks like Jefferson might just get a run here. Tringale's looking for second place on Johnny Gardner. So that's a lap on board. Two different perspectives. So Deaver leads, Gardner second, Nico Tringale third, Jay Jefferson fourth, James Shelley fifth, sixth Jonathan Sorlin, seventh Alex Ferrani, eighth Jose Mills, ninth Levi McIntyre, 10th Andrew Miller. So the top 10 mostly stays the same except for the inclusion of the 8 car. Kev Shearer has lost several positions, as has Seth Cole. So we'll see what the different tire strategies do here over the course of the long run. Sam Oskins found himself up to 13th. So this is a bit of a mini group here, battling for 6th and falling all the way down to 9th. Shelley, Jefferson, and Tringale are just riding, but the different tire strategies between them could dictate who has more grip through the corners. And it's not CTS, so there's a lot more power, and you're not going to gain as much back with the draft. As you can see, Gardner's already running faster lap times than Cole Deaver. Patrick Sick with the fastest lap time. 4 drivers in a 47.4 range. Patrick Sick, Alex Gray, Mark Riggleman, Peter Sands, none of which are top 10 in the race. Next week we head to the Dodge Motordrome, which is an interesting racetrack. It's a short track where you got to pass on the high side. Another lone event for Cup at M&M's. Dual event at Cape Cod. 2 more lone events at Pig Stadium in Boston for Cup. And then it's double headers all the way through the end of the year. And scheduling has double race weeks for the Motordrome and M&M's, along with Pig Stadium in Boston. So expect a Cup race on a Wednesday and then a Cup race on a Saturday. Meanwhile, though, here at Indianapolis, Johnny Gardner catches up to Cole Deaver, and he's got Nico Tringale right there with him. There you can see where the draft really comes into play. We'll see how long Deaver keeps this lead, but what he needs to be is in the draft to save fuel, just so he can make it on one more stop. If he pits at lap 30, it's going to be very difficult for him to make it 18 whole laps on that last run. As you see, TJ Hanley has fallen to 42nd after starting at the front. Where is the 15 of Jay Jefferson? He remains in the top 5, but it didn't take a long time. But here at the start of lap 24, the halfway mark, Gardner has caught Cole Deaver. And if Deaver doesn't get that first win of the season, it's going to be Gardner getting his second or Tringale getting his third. As of right now, after that second pit stop for everyone, it could be different. James Shelley rides by himself in 4th, with Jefferson trailing him in 5th. Ferrani 6th, McIntyre 7th, Sorlin 8th, Mills 9th, and Jackson is the top 10. Oskin trailing in 11th. 12th, Andrew Miller. 13th, Sebastian Kugelund. 14th, Seth Cole. 15th, Ace Rogers. 16th, Kev Shear. Big pack back here. Brian Brommer, 17th. Battle for 18th between Sick and Nate Rogers with Austin Alves in 20th. Battle for position as Mills and McIntyre go to the inside. McIntyre will take 6th place away from Ferranti. Mills will take away 8th from Sorlin. Jackson follows through for 9th. Now we'll see if Mills or Jackson can actually clear these guys. Ferranti's got a bit of an advantage, so I think he's going to hold on to 7th for now. Get through the turns 3 and 4, which are high line corners. There you see Ferranti clear. Will Mills be able to hold off Sorlin? Mills will hold off Sorlin. And Oskin's going to get a huge run on Charles Jackson. So that pack continues to race hard. Mills now will go for position on Ferranti, but he gets blocked. Jefferson and Shelley riding by themselves, but they lose ground to Gardner, Tringali, and Deaver as Tringali has made it past Johnny Gardner for 2nd. But Gardner's going right back forward, and this is allowing Deaver to pull away. Tringali clears due to that high line run, and we'll see if he's able to gap the 7 at all. See, Tringali has run a faster, quote-unquote, draft lap. So Shelley, Jefferson, and everyone else will most likely trail on back. Unless at any point these 3 become so separated that the draft reunites them all. But it's going to be tough to do on just a 16-lap run. Especially if you start battling for 4th or 3rd or 2nd. Tringali continuing to chase after Cole Deaver as Gardner makes a peek for 2nd place again. As he tried to make a move into turn 1 there, but he backed off. Next time by will be 20 to go. Tringali's got a pretty good run here. There's a move, but it's going into turn 3. Even with fresher tires, you can't really make anything of it. But now the top 3 are bumper to bumper. 2 bumper. Ooh, Tringali's in striking mode. Does he do it? He does. Right into turn 1. Tringali will clear Cole Deaver. Gardner will get to his inside for turn 2. Ooh, that was a little dicey. Tringali's giving draft mostly to the 7. But I don't think it's really giving either of them draft. As Tringali pulls away with the lead, Gardner will stay even. He's got 2 lap fresher tires than Deaver. You can see he really doesn't lift a lot. He's sticking strong up, but there's the lift. So that'll hold Deaver in 2nd for now. As he'll get maybe his first taste of draft all day. At the back, Shelley still maintaining a consistent mid 3 seconds behind. Levi McIntyre has made it up to 6th. He's actually getting some draft off Jay Jefferson. Ferranti 7th, Jackson's up to 8th, as Sorlin has fallen to 11th. Final pit stop of the race is coming up. When does Deaver come down? That's the big question. It won't be this time, so if he pits next lap, he should be able to make it to the end. You can see he's only barely hanging in there because of his tire wear. McIntyre continues to close on Shelley and Jefferson. Oskin made it by Jose Mills for 9th. Back up to the front. Does Deaver make a move for pit road here? No, he doesn't. He's going to push it another lap. And I think this is probably a good strategy because we'll probably see Tringali or someone else pit this time. As TJ Hanley's down pit road, but there's no caution and he's got a damaged race car. Something to do with maybe Rob Evans. They were at the back of the field. That is something we will look at maybe post-race. Ooh, Gardner's making a move on Deaver. That might prevent him from pitting. Did he get enough of a run to clear him? He did. And as expected, Deaver staying out another lap allows him to pit on lap 32. But no one's coming with him. No one went down in front of him either, though. That could be a good thing. So he's going to get full use of his tires here. Unless we get a caution. Which the lights are off. Back up to the 84 and the 7. Hanley ends up being the first one to pit, but he had damage. He was most likely spun out at the very back of the field, and there it is, skid marks in turn 3. So he got spun into turn 3, and there was nobody around to impede race progress, so the yellow flag did not fly. Tringali and Gardner stay out another lap. Ooh, but James Shelley's coming down pit road with Levi McIntyre. Alex Ferranti also pits from the front. This is where strategy is going to get interesting. You've got drivers pitting before the leaders. Shelley was only 4 seconds behind race leader. You can see Deaver's already been passed by Tringali and Gardner at this point. It's a pretty big gap to fall in line here. It looks like he'll come out definitely in front of Jefferson. Do we see any strategy from the leaders? Do they take right sides only? I feel like the run's long enough to where you want 4 tires, though. Tringali and Gardner will pit together. There goes Deaver staying out. Jefferson, pretty much everyone else coming down pit road. Actually, a few drivers going to stay out. Looks like Phil Parker, Gatlin Downey. Parker will get to lead a lap. Someone else staying out, that's Peter Sands. These drivers possibly going with that 2-tire strategy. See, Shelley already got passed completely by Cole Deaver. So Parker stays out one more lap, gets a bonus point. Is he going to be able to clear McIntyre to pit this time? He will. So Shelley and McIntyre, though, are clearly, I believe, 2nd and 3rd for the time being. As Parker, Downey, and Sands will all pit here on lap 35. And we'll see if they do anything special. Nope, all of them are going to take 4 tires. And there goes Cole Deaver. All by himself. Tringali second, Gardner third, Shelley fourth, Jefferson fifth. Deaver pit a entire 2 laps earlier, and that's really the big difference here because he was right with them when he pit. He managed to stretch it about 16, 17 laps on that second stint. Tringali and Gardner thought going an entire extra lap more than him would give them an advantage. Well, I'll tell you what, that advantage won't show up until the very end of the race, where we might see something like Auto Club, where Tringali had 4 fresh tires and the rest of the front pack who had stayed out were on it like 6 lap older tires. Tringali was catching Alves about a whole second a lap, and he managed to pass him in the final corner. It's 3.2 seconds for Nico Tringali. But he's got to deal with Johnny Gardner. If Gardner keeps making moves for second, they'll never catch Cole Deaver. 4th place, James Shelley. McIntyre in 5th. Jefferson 6th. 7th is Oskin, 8th Ferranti, 9th Mills, and 10th is the other Audi Red Bull car driven by Nate Rogers, who won last week. So if Nate can get another top 15 finish, that's going to bump him up more in the top 30. That's what he needs to be getting. He needs to be getting these kinds of finishes if he's to stay top 30 and make the playoffs again. Jackson 11th, Alves 12th, Brommer 13th, Parker 14th with the freshest tires on the racetrack. 15th, Kugelon, 16th, Miller, 17th, Quentin Moore, 18th, John Arndt, 19th, Zachary Fitzwater Sr., and 20th is Patrick Sick. See Downey running in 22nd place. Not a good day for Alex Gray. Peter Sands is 30th. Sorlin has fallen to 31st, so he'll lose more points. Seth Cole's fallen to 34th. Not a good run for him. So Deaver leads as Tringali has been completely passed by Johnny Gardner. Now we'll see if they're able to catch in any way. Ooh, 2/10 that lap. It's 10 to go this time by. 2/10 a lap for 10 laps won't cut it. That gets you 2 seconds. It would just put Gardner in draft range. Also not helping those two is the fact that Deaver is going to get drafted off the 24 soon because he is so underpowered. But if he holds up the 3 car, that will help them tremendously. So Deaver's got to make sure he doesn't get held up and he passes them in 1 or 2. Something else that could be costly for Deaver is if a caution comes out before the point where they would race back for 4 to go. If they race back at 5 to go, it would bring out a 1-lap shootout. And it would probably set up Gardner or whoever else is second. Oh, Gardner's already got it down under 3 seconds. How much did he gain last lap? Oh, he gained 4/10 last lap. Okay, with that amount of distance gaining, Deaver's in trouble. At this rate, it will only take another 5 laps for Gardner to catch Cole Deaver. Deaver will get some draft from Hanley this lap. That's going to maybe minimize some damage. Only 3/10 that lap. 2.5 seconds over 8 laps. You need to gain 3/10 a lap. Yeah, you really need to gain 3.5, 4/10 a lap. See, Deaver's definitely getting some draft here. Yeah, he's hitting about 200, so he's got the draft of TJ Hanley right now. That's really helping him on the straightaway. Tringali's not catching Gardner by any means. It'll be 7 to go for Cole Deaver. There's the draft. He gained 0.2 of speed. And Gardner gained nothing. Once Cole Deaver passes TJ Hanley, Gardner will be on the attack. But right now, Deaver minimized an entire lap's worth of what could have been time gained. And Tringali gained back 0.2. Ooh, and Shelley's been caught by McIntyre and Jefferson. So possible battle out here for 4th place. That's another 3 points. 5th to 6th is a 2-point difference. So things could get interesting. As Deaver's going to really hurt himself here passing Hanley in turn 4. Oh, Gardner really closed up from that. Anytime Deaver saved himself the previous lap, just got tossed out the window. He lost 0.9 of distance that time by. We're talking about Cole Deaver going for that first win of 2019 versus Gardner getting the second win. Gardner looks like the favorite right now. Tringali's not making any great lap times to catch him. Charles Jackson back into the top 10, according to the ticker. Did anyone else run a fast lap? Ooh, Dylan Young ran a 47.2. What a heckin' draft lap. Except he runs 27th. 5 laps to go for Cole Deaver. Loses another 6 to 7/10, but Gardner's going to get trapped by Hanley here just a little bit. As you see, Tringali lost 0.5, so I'm not really understanding what went down between the 48 and the 7. They pit on the same lap. So Gardner's passed Hanley. Now he's got the 3 in his sights. It's going to be very difficult for Deaver to hold off Johnny Gardner. Pitting 2 laps early got him the distance. But does it get him a fighting chance at the end? 1/10 gain, and Gardner's definitely got the draft wake now. Tringali's by the 24, and now the big thing for Tringali will be to catch back up when Gardner passes Deaver if he goes for the move in turn 3 or turn 4. Turn 4 would really check up to 7. You lose an entire straightaway of momentum if it doesn't go through. It'll be 3 laps to go for Cole Deaver. There is no caution flag. I do not expect a caution flag either, but it would certainly probably benefit the 3 right now. Lead's cut down to 0.4. Tringali is just about out of draft range of the 7. Two Chevrolets battling for a win. See, Shelley, McIntyre, and Jefferson are closing up themselves, but I don't think they have enough time. Gardner's smart. He's really closing in on Deaver right now. I think he's going to set himself up for turn 1. Here we go, down the front straightaway to 2 to go. And Johnny Gardner makes the move right after the start-finish line. And he'll take the lead with no real problem whatsoever. Not what Tringali wanted to see. Now we'll see how much can Deaver hold. Deaver can hold decently through 3 and 4. He might have a chance at a comeback run. Oh no, Gardner's pulling away. White flag is out for Johnny Gardner at Indianapolis. And This would be the record-breaking 7th win on a speedway track for Johnny Gardner. Deaver's just doing all he can. It's hard when your tires are 2 laps older. Through turns 3 and 4. One last time. Coming to the checkered flag, Johnny Gardner will get his 2nd win of 2019 as he wins at Indianapolis. Cole Deaver, 2nd place. Look at that, .333 behind for the 3. That's pretty grand. Nico Tringali, 3rd. James Shelley, 4th at a track he won at in 2017. Levi McIntyre, top rookie on the day, finishes 5th. Jay Jefferson actually finishing close to where he started. He gets 6th. Sam Oskin, 7th. Alex Ferranti, 8th. Jose Mills, 9th. And Charles Jackson rounds out the top 10. With that, I will see everybody next week for the Dodge Motordrome and M&M's. As a reminder, Motordrome will be on a Wednesday, and M&M's will be on the Saturday. So stay tuned for those races, guys. I'll see you then as we count down the races to the chase. All right, everybody. I almost forgot about this. To fully understand what happened to TJ Hanley, who was running very well earlier in the race. This is where it all starts. See, he's clipping the grass. A lot of drivers were clipping the grass, but anyone who was side by side wasn't running in the grass. James Qualls didn't hit the grass behind TJ Hanley. He makes a move to the outside. William Flickinger is going to check up here. Caleb Hoffman starts creeping his way up. And this is where things get really dangerous because you can see this car is already back on the track. They're making moves. And this was during the first pit stop. And TJ never actually pitted for his damage until it was time for him to actually pit. So right here, Hoffman moves up to the left rear quarter panel of William Flickinger, makes contact with the 77. They move down, and now they're borderline going to go 4 wide here. They almost are. And William and Hoffman just kind of keep getting together. And it's time for the corner, and Caleb just has nowhere to go as William turns down on him. They both get in the grass. William's the one who loses it. That gets him into Hanley. Somehow nobody spins here, but Hanley gets sent all the way up the track and slams the outside wall with the right side of his car. And that was our one incident on the race. So with that said, I will see you guys at the Dodge Motordrome.